Okay, hello and good morning. I'm here this morning with a phenomenal woman that I want to introduce the world to. A lot of people in the world already know her because of her extensive travel in the military, all of the great things she's done with the different platforms she's served on, whether it is through the military, through her jobs that she's worked with outside of the military because she is retired. She's a mom, she's a grandma, she's every woman's shero. And I want to introduce you to my guest today, Dr. Lillie Cannon. Thank you, Dr. Lillie, for coming on with me today.
Thank you, Shannon, for inviting me to be on.
So, Dr. Cannon, when I was reading your bio, I was amazed because to be able to meet a woman that has been able to trailblaze so many different platforms, you really make it easier for women like myself to be able to enter into certain areas of life. And I appreciate that. I applaud that. And then to know on top of that, it's driven by faith. You are an associate pastor. I said, wow, she wears so many hats. And I know that you just have something just very seasonal for us that's going to enlighten us as women. It's just so many things to discuss and so little time. So I'm going to go ahead and give it over to you. Tell us about Dr. Cannon.
Just a little bit about me. First and foremost, my faith in God is what sustains me. And my role model in my life was my mom. She told me everything I needed to do was to always put my faith and my trust in God and allow Him to direct my pathway. I'm a retired Air Force officer, born and raised in Durham, North Carolina, traveled extensively all over the world. But everywhere I've gone, it has always been my mantra to try to help someone make a difference in their life. And so it's quite apropos that the conference that we're putting on is Women Making a Difference. And I just feel that I've just been blessed to do all the things that I've been able to do in my life, from being in the military, working in corporate America, working with the Department of Defense as a veteran retiree, doing some different things with spouse employment for military spouses, now working with veterans and disabled veterans and transitioning service members. And just, that's me, just giving back, taking care of those that need to be taken care of, I guess.
So with in wearing all of those hats, what brought you to this point in life saying, okay, it's time for me to give back on this level to women?
Well, as I was listening to the news, I'm a newsaholic, okay? I listen to the news, I do a lot of reading. And as I was seeing what was happening in our country, specifically in the area in which I live right now, all the things that were happening to women, and just meeting with some women and hearing in their voices something that just really stirred me. And that was, they were feeling like they didn't have a place to turn. They were not resilient in anything and trying to find a sense of belonging. And as I was talking with some friends, we talked and we thought about, how do we reach out to women? How do we help our community pull together, work together, and let it all begin with them? And so we talked a little bit of some of the things that we do. And so we came up with, let's put on a conference. And I said, oh my gosh. I've done a lot of things in my life, but this is truly something I've never done. I never even really thought about it. And I thought, first time you do anything, sometimes you have to worry about it. Are you going to get the attendance you want? How are you going to be guided? Who's going to help you? Who's going to do this? And I just said, okay, forget all that, Lillie. You have never prescribed to that a day in your life. You have always said, my spiritual resilience is what's going to take me through. You have always said, it's like a three-legged stool. You've always said, resilience and do-how is doing is at the top of the stool. And then my strong faith will allow me to do it. My strong mind and body and putting the right people around me will help me to do it. And finally, just the resolve to make it happen. So I said, okay, we're going to do this, ladies. And we stepped out on faith.
So this was your vision. This is what God had given you. And then you shared it with a team of women. Is that how that worked?
Actually, we came upon it at the same time. We were sitting in my office doing some work that had nothing to do with this. And we were just talking and ministering to each other at work. And, at about the same time, we all said, let's put on a conference. And I said, okay, I need to think about this. I need to pray on this. I need to get some spiritual guidance on this. And we talked, and then we said, okay, we're going to do it. We prayed about it in the office, and we said, okay, we're going to make it happen. And I think that what really cemented it, to let it know it was divinely ordained, is to call a person like Marilyn Hickey. And yes, no thought about it. Yes, I'll do it. And I went, oh my gosh, this lady I grew up with. This lady is somebody who I hold in the most high esteem. And I thought that they would go through all of this. Well, you got to do this, you got to do that. And no, it was, oh yes, I would feel honored to do it. And
it was like, too easy. It was so scary, right?
Yes. Because I'm trying to figure out, if we do this, who's going to be the keynote speaker? Yes, we have some great speakers in the Cumberland Union, Hope County area, Cumberland County and Hope County and Rayford and all these great places around Durham and North Carolina. And I said, an international speaker, a lady who is well known all over this world. I said, wow. So God, I'm going with it now.
Dr. Cannon, when you were talking about spiritual resilience, do you see that suffering in a lot of women?
Yes, I do. I see that most women that I have come in contact with, some of them military and some civilian, is that they don't know actually where they belong in life. I believe it was Mark Twain that says that there's two important parts in your life. It's when you're born and then when you figure out what you're supposed to do. The Bible lets us know that God has ordained us to do things, but a lot of times in fear, we don't do it. I believe that we all have a internal design upon our life, but a lot of times we as women, we let becoming a mother stop us. We let working stop us. We let naysayers say, oh, no, you can't do this. You can't own your own business. You can't step out and do this particular thing in your life, because we are afraid. We let fear sometimes stand in our way. And we don't understand, I believe, that in order to be resilient, you have to be willing to just step out.
So when God gave you the vision about this conference, I know he showed you aspects of it. I know you don't know all the details of how this is all going to roll out until it actually happens. However, I'm pretty sure he's given you glimpses of what this conference is going to do for women, the Women Making a Difference conference. What are some of those glimpses that you would be kind enough to share with me?
Well, I think the first thing is pulling a diverse community together. We are very diverse in Cumberland County, Hope County, in the area. So it's taking a very diverse group of women and pulling us together. That's the start. And it's setting up a process in which we can learn to serve and network together. I think networking is extremely important. And God has shown me that this is going to be the launching point for quarterly events for women within this area, and that he will grow it nationally, that women coming together. You know, a lot of times we hear that when something happens, some social dysfunction happens, we galvanize together, and then after a while, it dies on the vine. God said, this is not going to die. This is going to be the launching point where you're going to help women to pull together, to develop very strong networks to where they can make a difference, starting first in their home, in their community, in their state, in the nation as a whole. So that's kind of how God has kind of birthed this ministry. And I was saying, God, I'm old. I'm old.
You're seasoned, Dr. Cannon.
I'm
You're just seasoned,
seasoned.
my sister.
I'm seasoned, Lord. This is a task for a young person. And he said, look at the women that you're pulling together to launch this. Look at the women that are going to be the foundation for this event. You're not old. You're now ready to step into what I have for you. So the glimpse is, come on, it's going to be great. You're going to find your purpose. You're going to be resilient. There are so many different parts of this conference that we're looking at those things that will help women to grow in understanding your finances. I think I am also a financial counselor. I think that as I listen to women talk about money, a lot of times they don't really understand the power of money. And when I say the power of money, it's not, I can go buy a new Lexus. It's taking that money and turning it back into your passion to help you leave a legacy. So we want to talk to them a little bit about finances and how do you use what God has given you after you've given him his 10th? How do you use that to launch your inner program, your inner design that God has for you? Or how do you pull yourself to a different level by financially understanding how you are blessed with the finances that you have?
Because when I think about the finance portion of it, that halts a lot of women from going forward because they're looking and they're questioning, how am I going to pull together resources to really make this baby come alive, this dream. And so a lot of them they have dreams, they just don't know how to finance it without causing financial strain in their home. And that's that resistance that always comes against the birth of a dream. Is everything. I always say, once you give birth to something, all the enemies that were, potentially around to stop it, they become activated then. So you're always fighting against something, and to pursue a passion, you got to fight against, what in your mind, what don't I don't have enough money to make this happen.
But there's so many resources out there that a lot of times that we as women do not know about. So we're bringing a group of women together about entrepreneurship. They're going to teach you how to get the money. They're going to show you how to get the finances to realize your dream. I believe that every one of us, first, we have a book inside of us, something that we can write about that can help someone else. I also know that we all have a ministry, and that ministry is, who are we? How can I give back? What is my business? And like you said, we're fearful. Oh, I can't do this because it's going to cost money. They don't understand about the Small Business Association, how they can help you to open your own business. And sometimes you have family members. A lot of times you can pull from your family pull together and have that family legacy, and each family member try to help. But you take those small, deliberate steps. Don't jump out there and try to invest $1 million into something that you want to do, because if you don't have that $1 million, it's not going to be a good thing.
That's right. So we have finances, we have entrepreneurship panels. What else are we going to expect from the conference?
What about health and wellness? This is God's temple, our body. But you can't realize your dream. You can't be resilient if you are not physically and mentally able to do it. So we're going to have some people there that's going to help women to look at themselves from their physical and their mental aspects. And they're going to talk about those particular issues that women are very concerned about. Let's get our body, our mind, and our soul together.
And so we're getting our body and mind together. We're learning how to not be afraid of money.
Right.
And money is a terrible enemy, not only to us individuals, but also to our marriages, because that's what
that's true.
Many divorces to occur. And we're talking about entrepreneurship, turning your hobby into a funding stream. Is there anything else that we're going to get from the conference?
Education.
Okay.
Education is the other part of now a four-legged stool for us. a lot of times we as women, we get so involved in what we're doing, we don't understand that we need to probably get a little bit more education to do the things that we need to do. There are so many scholarships out there for women. There are some great schools in our area that are willing to help us. We will have some educators there. Some of them will be offering scholarships, certificate level programs, all sorts of great opportunities. So you have to network. All of this is about networking, getting to see the experts on health, entrepreneurship, education, finance, and then getting to know them, talk to them, understand what all of the schools in the community have to offer, know about the scholarships. You know, I went through school, and I don't think I paid a whole lot of money going to school because I learned how to get scholarships, how to write them, write up whatever they asked me to do, how to position myself in such a way that I could continue to go to school. And I always admit to people, I could really go to school 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the rest of my life. I love school. If someone would just pay me so I could drive a pretty decent car and get it serviced every now and then and live comfortably, I would actually go to school because I believe that education is paramount. Yes. And a lot of young ladies are afraid of education. A lot of them just end up with their high school graduation, high school diploma, and think that's it. That's okay, but that's not it. I think the more you get educated, the more you can then not fearfully walk into the things that we're talking about today.
Absolutely, because even when I think about my education, I haven't gotten to the final degree, which is like you, a PhD, and I so desire it. But then when they send you the criteria and say, "Oh, you have to invest all of these hours to make it happen," I'm just over here believing God for an honorary doctorate degree because I said, "Lord, I don't know if I have it in me to go back to school." But yet, it opens up other doors. It's just easier for me to walk through certain doors with the vision that I have for myself. So that's why it's important for a lot of women. Women will look at it and they say, "Oh, well, you know, it's just going to land me this type of job." Well, if that's where your mindset is, you know, about just getting the degree, you know, to get a job. But if you're looking at it, how it could just advance and further, you know, the vision that you have for yourself, it really is a useful tool.
It really is. I can tell people that my PhD has opened so many doors for me that I would not have had if I did not have that PhD. My master's degree, same difference. My bachelor's degree did the exact same thing. So education is extremely important. And I believe that we as women of favor, and as every woman that will be attending the conference and those that had a desire that maybe could not, that we women of favor, that I believe God will open the doors for education. He will open the doors for finance, entrepreneurship. And if we're having some health challenges, he's going to open those doors as well.
Absolutely. I want to try to bring on one of the videos from one of our speakers that are that's going to be attending, Chantell Cooley.
Oh, she's awesome. That's actually, she is my senior vice president. And she is truly a woman of God who has a story to tell. See Chantell, but I can't hear her.
Okay, here she goes.
Hi, I'm Chantell Cooley, and I am so excited about Women Making a Difference Conference, March 24th, 2018. It is going to be the place to be. Women gathered together to find out what their purpose is and to move forward. You know, we're all in a certain place in life. So once you examine that and you understand where you are, that's when you really can start moving your life forward. You may be in a rut, moving sideways, moving backwards, or you may be moving forward. But wherever it is, it's best to identify it and then get excited about your life. Learn to dream and dream big. So at this conference, there's going to be incredible speakers, spiritual leaders that are going to guide us and really empower us to go after our dreams and purpose. So if you want to keep moving forward, join us at this conference, March 24th, and we are going to have a great time. I'll see you there.
You know, one thing that Chantell taught me when I first started working with the organization that I am with right now was to find your passion. And you can tell by her voice, she has her passion, and ministry is her passion. And truly, she does some great things for women. She actually has a group of women that she mentors. So she's looking to
Awesome.
find some women that would love to have her as a mentor. She mentors them virtually. She gives us books to read. She talks to us about her life story. And I will tell you, and I'm not going to steal any of her thunder, but they slept in a car.
Mm.
They really, her whole family. And
Wow.
she talks about how her faith in God and their ability to be resilient has allowed them to have one of the largest online schools in the United States. And one of the first, her father started, was part of one of the first group of online universities.
So,
And
so Miss Cooley started a university.
she is the co-owner, her
Wow.
mother, and her brother, of 2 universities. Columbia Southern University, which is about, I think, currently we're about 42,000 students.
Ah,
He is the founder of Chantelle Ministries. They have a K through 12th grade school in Orange Beach, Alabama. And then Waldorf University, which is it was a Lutheran university. It's a liberal arts university in Forest City, Iowa. They also own that. 3 people who, you have to hear her story.
who slept in cars, own universities.
Yes. See, that's all God. And she tells us, she tells us that you put your faith in God and you don't be afraid. Her father borrowed $45 from her to start Columbia Southern.
Wow.
She was the only one who had money, $45.
Talking about turning fish in 5 loaves.
Yes. I mean, she's a great woman to interview. Shannon, I'm hoping that if you can be at the conference, that you'll have an opportunity to talk to Chantelle. Chantelle has a story. So does Dr. Patrice Carter and Dr. Figueroa. And of course, Marilyn Hickey has a great story to tell about women. All of these great women have stories in their life that will talk about resiliency. And as we built the theme around this, women making a difference, I have to go back to Billy Graham. And recently we lost him.
Yes.
But Reverend Graham, I remember as a child, my mom would take us anywhere where we could hear him, we listened to him. And one of the things that resonated with me my entire life was Billy Graham always said, make a difference. Make a difference. And I just, it stuck with me. And now I know why. And I just, we honor him as the man of God. But we know as women that in our houses, in our communities, in our churches, if you look around at your church, and I would just tell everybody, if you sit in the front, look in the back, look to the back, the majority of the members are what? Women.
Yes.
Women. The majority of women. We have a place. We affect a lot of things that we don't think that we affect.
Yes.
It's no longer a time for us to sit quietly. It's time for us to say, let's make a difference. Let's make a difference. Let's make a difference in our homes, in our communities, in our churches, in our country. Let's make a difference. Status quo is not good anymore. We're going to be resilient. We're going to plan. We're going to network, and we're going to step out and make a difference.
I want to take us to the website where people can go and you can just explain some of the things that you want to see happen, how they can get access to attend the conference, and as well as if they want to become a sponsor. I don't know if that is closed up, but if you can just help us to navigate here with being able to participate in this conference. So let's see if I can pull it up. Here we are.
The first thing we would say is go in and, of course, register. Also, we'd like you to link to the site and send it out to as many of your friends as possible. You can go to the site and you can register on the site through Eventbrite, and you can pay on the site at Eventbrite. But you can also come to the conference and pay. We will have people that will be taking money at the conference. We have a great deal, especially for our churches and our groups. If you have 10 or more people, the cost for the conference is $20. It's $25 in advance and $30 at the door. So you would go in. We would love to have sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, we're still looking for some great sponsors. As a part of being a sponsor, we will actually put an ad in our program. Additionally, we will showcase you at the conference. We will provide all the information that you would like for us to provide about your company, about whatever you are doing at the conference. So it's an opportunity for you to get the word out. And I like to use conference books for helping people to help with services that they need. So if you have a particular service and you're in the conference book, most likely people are going to go and they're going to use your service.
Yes.
In addition to that, it's going to be a great day. I mean, the website, send it to as many people as you can. Try to get your group together. Try to get there early as well. If you are a vendor and you have books that you would like to sell at the conference, let us know about it. Bring your book. If you have a service where you have some print material and you want people to know about what you do in your own vocation, get a table, set up and advertise what you do and how you do it. So it's going to be a great opportunity. We have it at a venue that some people kind of question me on it. I have to talk about that for a little bit. The venue that we're having at is a conference center, but it's a conference center with a steeple. And people were like, you're having it at a church. Yes, we are women of God. Yes, we're having it at a conference center, Cape Fear Conference B, hosted by Cumberland Union Free Will Baptist Church is hosting it. Yes, we're having it at a conference center with a steeple. You know, it's going to be an anointed place. So come on in and get your blessing. That's what we're saying. You're going to be blessed in the city and you're going to be blessed out of the city. So it's going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be at Cape Fear Conference B at 10225 Fayetteville Road in Rayford, North Carolina. All roads, all signals, everything is heading to Rayford, North Carolina on the 24th for this Women Making a Difference conference. We've got Dr. Lydia Figueroa, one of the greatest Hispanic speakers I have ever heard. She brings such a wealth of knowledge. She is so active in the state of North Carolina, not only in the Hispanic community, but in all communities, trying to help women make a difference. We have Dr. Patrice Carter, who is an awesome woman of God, very energetic, coaching. She coaches you on different aspects of resilience and finding yourself. She's going to talk about, let me tell you what these women are going to talk about. Dr. Carter is going to talk about It's Your Time. It's your time. She is a co-founder of Breakpoint Life Coaching. It is your time, ladies. Your time to do the things that you want to do. Step out and do it. Dr. Figueroa is going to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. Abiding, her church is Abiding in Him Church. And then, of course, Chantell Cooley, Sarah, the mother of all nations. Chantelle Ministries out of Orange Beach, Alabama. And then making a difference, Dr. Hickey, being an Esther. Being an Esther. We got to sit back sometime and be quiet. And at the time, it's time to speak up. You find favor in God, then you go to the King. And
Amazing.
that's what Esther did.
Amazing. Dr. Cannon, I am so grateful that you shared with me this opportunity to introduce you to others and definitely to get people on board with coming and being a part of the conference. It doesn't happen too often. I just really want to encourage everyone. It doesn't happen too often where you get this level of powerhouse speakers in one venue at the cost in which they're offering it to you. And it includes a meal. It includes the opportunity to actually touch, connect with others. You can go to conferences and you won't see you won't have any connections with any of the people that were presenting. But here they're offering their time to you, and they're liberal with it. So I encourage you, if you have a women's group, if you grew up watching Marilyn Hickey with your mom, bring your mom out, bring your aunties, your cousins, your grandma, let them enjoy looking face to face with the people that inspired them in their walk in Christ, because it was challenging, and she opened it up for me even to be able to do this interview right now online. Thank you, Marilyn Hickey. You know, because she tapped into the media world. And I'm pretty sure she encountered a lot of opposition as well as she was venturing out into what God called her. But don't be afraid. Don't wait till the last minute. Let's go ahead and get our tickets now. Let's go ahead and support this vision, because when you sow into something, it's already extending into other areas. So you're sowing into multiple platforms that are going to extend beyond the nation. So your seed to attend this conference is just generating, multiplying. It's just going to push you, make you spiritually resilient, make you to be able to be that woman that's making a difference in your community. So thank you. I appreciate you. And
can I say one other thing that I forgot to say? After we have paid for everything for the conference, let me tell you where the money is going. It's going to a women's shelter to help those women that are less fortunate than us. And also it's going to a ministry called Cora to help young ladies that find themselves outside of what we would like to see them do, to help them to get better in line. Young teen pregnancies, to help them medically. So that's where your funds are going. It's to help our community help women and young ladies.
So as you can see, everything with what I just said, she just confirmed it. Your money that you're paying for this event, it's not just for you. So if you're always asking yourself, what can I do to help somebody else? Well, while you're helping yourself, guess what? God has given you an opportunity to be a blessing in the life of many other people. So go ahead, jump on board, go to the website, womenmakingadifference.com. They also have a Facebook page. If you want to get one-on-one with some of the speakers there, go ahead and chime in on some of their posts. And we thank you for tuning in with us. You guys be blessed, and just let this marinate and go ahead and let's sell out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cannon.